We'll go back to the all Amiga all the time show. We just talk Amiga, 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 Amiga. No, we don't, but and it's not rivaling the amount of time we talk about Dune or Mike not being a doctor, but maybe it's about third, on there. We have talked about Amiga a lot. We're going to talk about Commodore a lot in general, I think, over the next several years. So, but we wanted to kind of go down a little bit another Amiga alley here briefly on this show. So, you're a fairly recent Amiga Night, Mike, covered there. Um, uh, my experience is began and ended pretty much sort of with the Amiga 2000, which was a much different form factor than the Amiga 500, where the Amiga 500 was closer to the C64, that it was the keyboard and then enclosed the chips and motherboard were all in there. You had a hard disk drive attached to the side, and you would attach it to a monitor, etc. Um, if you're going to have a hard drive, it was an external hard drive you had to connect. There were some kind of weird offerings from Amiga to how you extended that to where your 500 became quite lengthy. Um, but most of my experience was 200. But kind of during that time, as things went on, there was an Amiga 600 that showed up, and then an Amiga 1200. Um, and while I still, in my heart of hearts, just say, just give me a functional Amiga 2000, and I can go back to what I know. There's some pretty cool options out there. The 2000 did not have the advanced chipset, which became kind of the highest level of graphic work that an Amiga could do. Original chipset kind of came out, then there was an enhanced chipset, and then AGA. So the 1200 had AGA. Um, and it looks like we're going to have an option for that pretty soon. So, what are your thoughts, Amiga Mike, on this news?
So Retro Games Limited did the C64 Mini as well as the full size C64, which is such a good product, the full size C64, that not only do I still use it quite a bit, because not only can you run games and programs on there, you can run BASIC on there, and you can even play games off of floppy disks and things like that. So it's such a great product that it's the only thing that's really kept me from investing in one of the new official Commodore releases that we're seeing from the new ownership of Commodore coming out, because essentially, other than using original peripherals, this already does everything I need. And they released an Amiga Mini, and now they have the full size coming out. Now I know official Commodore has said that they are going to be doing some Amiga stuff, but that's in the future. So I think for right now, given how good the full size C64 was, this is definitely 100% on my radar as something that I think I'm going to end up getting.
Yeah, and it's the 1200 is the Amiga. I mean, there was eventually an Amiga 3000 that I think existed for about 40 seconds. Um, but the 1200 was the Amiga I kind of wish I had gotten, but this was actually kind of glad I didn't, because it's starting to get towards the end of lifespan on where things were going. But it had the enhanced chipset. There had been some pretty good involvements. Apparently, and now this guy's hooked up with um, uh, the new owners of Commodore. There was yet another chipset called the AAA being developed that may get revisited. Now, never kind of made it out the door. So that may kind of show up underneath the auspices of New Commodore. Um, so we'll see there. But I always regretted not having a 1200. So it'll be interesting to see pricing wise when this comes out, where it's at, because I have kind of the highest degree with kind of the reformed Commodore Corporation in terms of the talent they brought in. They brought some OG folks in, so I think there's going to be on both the kind of 64 side and the Amiga side. So there's good representation of some of the original folks So I'm sure that it's going to be some quality options down the road, but it is down the road. So we'll look at it. We had a on a recent Skip It listed buy it, which I guess this is one of these, but it's not, and I'm going to tell you why it's not, because I'm going to propose, totally catching Mike off guard here, that we stop doing Skip It listed buy its, and we start doing Skip It buy its, because the listed part is just a buy it deferred by time. and, and someone was asking some questions about, I don't understand what's listed mean. It's like, why don't you just say if you're going to buy it or not buy it? And if what we're saying on listed is probably buy it, it's on the list to buy. I am willing to make that buying decision, but there's going to have to be time must pass and other things that go on. I think it's pretty reasonable to say, yeah, this is maybe something you should buy, or nah, and then leave the timing up to the viewer. Because I think we were getting a little bossy to say you should list it. No, you might want it, but put it on a list and just let it sit there. So I just think, I think we'll be more. We should just get a little more clear and say no, buy it, and then they can decide timing wise on that. So with the brand new, so first of all, are you okay with the leaving the decades of skip it, list it, buy it lore and moving to skip it, buy it?
I mean, I'm willing to try anything.
You're willing to skip it, buy it, willing to try it. There you go. So this is like a caption or something, or maybe it'll be buy it or nah. you know. So we'll work on the packaging, but I think we will become a little more binary, yes or no, on that kind of stuff. So on a buy or nah, where where are you in the Amiga 1200?
I'm definitely leaning towards buy it because, as much as I want to support Commodore proper, it is down the line for the Amiga stuff. And I want to delve deeper into Amiga.
Mike's a buy, as am I. I think we'll both give it a try. Dr. Seuss. So there you go. So yeah, I think I think so. A price point will have an influence. If it's like this might be a post-win Powerball. I'll have to win Powerball to get it, but we'll have to see how it goes. But let us know in the comments if you're a buy or a nah for the Amiga. Well, it rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? For the Amiga 1200, or some other things you want to have out there. The other many Amiga things are coming up. Are you waiting in the wings to see what comes from new Commodore? So we'll have to see on that. So it's a good time, man. We talked about this recently on another show. This is just like there's lots of, if you happen to be a Commodore fan of the 64, the Amiga, or all that, there's just like pretty exciting things. But and then also Atari. Has had a nice bounce back as well. So it's nice to see some of these giants of the industry who became not giants coming back and at least doing some business. So it's pretty cool to see. Anything you'd like to add?
Nothing to add. I'm curious to see this. I know that Retro Games Limited makes good products,
Yeah.
so it would be hard to pass this up.
Yeah. 500 the Amiga 500 Mini, the part of the 500 Mini came from them too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's a nice piece of hardware. So, yep, something to look forward to. Cool. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bog Panda.